Hour Media.
Hey folks, happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to the Pine Forest Coaches Show, brought to you by this week by Scott's Service Company. Whether it's hot, whether it's cold, just give Scott's a call. He won't put you on hold. We got an action-packed show here tonight. You like that? I came up with that just on a whim. You like that? I got a future, man. I don't know what it's in, but I got a future. Hey, we're having a big time here. We're at Peaden, 1600 MacArthur Road. Come on out. There's still plenty of time. Like I said, action-packed show. Just got a text. Principal David Colbreth is going to be here. He's going to be our opening segment. So we're looking forward to having him. Bill Sochovka is going to be on. We're going to talk about last week's Saturday win over Jack Britt, 19-9. And we're going to have Jonathan Scott on. We got Josh Jensen coming up talking about all the activities going on with homecoming next week. Unbelievable. It's hard to believe it's homecoming already. We've got some players here. We've got our producer extraordinaire, Jake from State Farm, sitting over there in his khakis. But first, we got to give a huge shout-out to the Pine Forest girls tennis team, conference champs, regular season. Way to go, girls. I think we got a picture we're going to throw up there. Is Jake paying attention? Here, we got the picture, Jake. There we go. Look at those girls. Congratulations to the Pine Forest women's tennis team, regular season conference champs. They defeated Overhills on Monday. They've got the tournament starts next Thursday, which is going to be the 13th. If you want to go see them in action before then, you need to go 271st, which will be next tomorrow. Tomorrow, as we go head-to-head with football tomorrow, because we'll be playing Thursday night football. Last week Saturday, this week Thursday. At some point we'll get back to Friday night. We're not really sure when that's going to be, but at some point we're going to get back to Friday night. Maybe you're looking for a little soccer action tonight. Soccer is in action tonight right now. Should have just booted off 7 o'clock against E.E. Smith. They'll be at Cape Fear on Monday the 10th, and then back home next Wednesday on the 12th against Overhills. The soccer team is in second place right now, so go ahead out and support your Trojan soccer team. They are looking good. We've got a little bit of golf action going on. They are in third place, the ladies golf team. So they'll be Monday. They'll play at Baywood as they're winding their way down through their season. And then cross country as meet number 4 will be on the 12th. And then conference championships are going to be on the 18th, and that's going to be at Southview High School. But we have got a huge action-packed show for you tonight here from Peaden's. Come on out, 1600 MacArthur Road. Come get you some shrimp, some hush puppies, some catfish, some barbecue, some fried chicken, some coleslaw, and some of that famous Jimmy Peaden sweet tea. Come see Jimmy. They got everybody's here tonight. It's a Wednesday night. You got Jimmy, Ricky, and John all in the kitchen tonight. So come on out. We're having a big time for the Pine Forest Coaches Show. Again, brought to you by Scott's Service Company. Find them on Facebook at Scott's Service Company. So get in touch with Jonathan and his lovely wife who are here tonight. If maybe you want to meet them, come on out. We'd love to see you. Hey, we're going to step away, take a break. When we come back, the man, the big cheese, the head Trojan, David Colbreth is going to be here talking about things that are going on at Pine Forest High School as we roll on with the Pine Forest Coaches Show coming to you live from Peaden's.
Discover what's behind the gates at Gates 4 Golf and Country Club.
One of the area's premier gated communities featuring an 18-hole championship golf course, a beautiful 3/4-mile exercise trail with a children's play area, 4 new USTA tennis courts and pavilion perfect for weddings and receptions, a family-friendly pool with covered patio, and our clubhouse offers many dining options along with live entertainment and dancing.
Golf, swimming, tennis, dining. Learn more about membership at gates4.com.
Are you remodeling? The Restore Warehouse, Fayetteville's new and used home improvement alternative, is the area leader in new and used home and building supplies. Donate furniture, appliances, cabinets, lighting, windows, doors, or bath items. All donations are tax deductible. The Restore Warehouse also sells new kitchen cabinets, tile, flooring, and vanities for less. Plus, all net profits are donated to local Fayetteville area charities. Donate, shop, save, and support your community. Call now to schedule your free donation pickup.
Pack Power Media.
All right, welcome back to the Pine Forest Trojan Coaches Show, brought to you tonight by Scott's Service Company. Give them a call. Find them on Facebook, Scott's Service Company. We've been waiting for him for 4 weeks now. He's finally made an appearance. He's a busy man. I mean, we're lucky to have him because as soon as he leaves here, he's got to leave and go back to the school because they're playing some soccer tonight over there, and you're on duty. So let's give a great big Trojan round of applause for David Culbreth, principal at Pine Forest High School.
Thank you. Good to be here. Good to be here.
Glad to have you, man. So what's going on, man? You're in your third year now?
No, my fourth year.
Golly, we're just
my third year last year, started my fourth year.
That's what happens
Hard
when
to
you're.
believe.
That's what happens when you're on Prozac.
I'll tell you what.
You miss a year every now and then.
I'll tell you what. Time flies when you're having fun, and I've been having a ball on Andrews Road ever since I got there.
Oh, it's for one, it's a closer drive for you.
Absolutely.
You could just before they put the new road in, you could just about come through the woods.
Absolutely. There's been some nights I wish the drive home was longer because I needed to depress a little bit, but no, it's great. Great school, great atmosphere from the first night until sitting here in this chair. I'm a blessed man. Blessed man.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, you worked your way up through the ranks. You were the athletic director at Southview High School. Mm-hmm. You were a championship-winning wrestling coach.
Right, 71st.
And I heard you body slammed a tennis coach.
No,
and I heard you got up in the teachers meeting and said if anybody heard the rumor to let them know that it was true.
It was not the tennis coach. It was the
soccer coach. I'm
That's
sorry,
correct.
the soccer coach. I'm sorry, wrong sport.
And you know, I've noticed that he's been doing two-a-days ever since that night. And one of the students asked, "Mr. Covers, how do you do that?" And I said, "Well, they don't make you principal of the school unless you're the baddest person." No, a lot of fun. I have to be serious all the time now as a principal, but it is nice. A great group of coaches and teachers there at the school, and it's nice to be able to cut up with them sometime and have some fun.
Well, that's great. Tell us about what's going on academically. We know that there's you're an award-winning high school,
right.
Award-winning band. We talk about sports here all the time. Let's talk about some serious stuff, which is the academics,
right.
and some of the good things that you and your staff are doing.
Well, I tell you what, right out of the gate, we're having an ice cream celebration because we exceeded growth this past year. We really jumped up in our work keys, testing tremendously, and you know, I was so proud of the staff. We've lost 12 teachers in the last 3 years due to budget cuts, and yet we haven't really lost any students. So it's been tough. It's been you know, anytime you're experiencing cuts like we've experienced, it's been tough. Class sizes increased a little bit, but the job duties are the same and the expectations are the same, and our teachers, our kids, they all, you know, it was a tough year last year, and to come out at the end and see the results and see the job that the staff did, we were just, I was elated. I mean, for me, it felt like winning a state title. And you know, we're going to do a little celebrating, and yet you can't rest on your laurels. We're back at it, and it's a new year, and we've had a great start. We you know, just, I mean, you know, and everything, you know, it's not just about academics, it's not just about athletics. We've got the arts, we've got 2 academies there with the AOIT and the EMS. So we always like to say we're a 4A school: athletics, academics, academies, and the arts. And I mean, just from our dance program, our theater program, just our band. Everybody knows about our band, but we've got some tremendous dance shows that Miss Collins puts on. I mean, she's just unbelievable in what she's done with that program. And then if you've been to one of our plays, it's just, and then our orchestra went to New York last year, and it doesn't stop. Great things happening every day at Pine Forest, and You know, the kids are amazing. We're a traditional school. We're real America at 525 Andrews Road. We're a real high school, and we're proud of that, and we all feel like we're blessed because of that. And I'm just so ecstatic to be there. And you know, we got the Tigers in this week, and you know that's exciting for me because that's a second family to me. Got a lot of love for those people over there on Elk Road. And
what's the bet?
Well,
I know you and Brian got a bet.
Well, last year the bet was it was a friendly wager. The loser had to run through the winning team's breakthrough banner next year. So Brian Aikens will actually be on the Pine Forest sideline Thursday night, and he will be running through the Pine Forest banner with the Pine Forest football team. And he's upset about it. In fact, he's on campus tonight down on Andrews Road there for the soccer match. And we're discussing round 2. But he keeps saying, well, y'all may be favored, but don't sleep. And we're not taking them lightly. Bill knows that this is his North Carolina State game right here. Bill Sochovka knows, you know, this is the game that I look to every year. He's got to go out there and perform. So I hope he's, you know, been telling the kids we got to execute Thursday night. But I picked with him. A lot of fun this week. A lot of fun.
Well, don't let Brian try to get you double or nothing. He's got to run through. He's got to perform.
That's right.
There's no double or nothing.
There's nobody I love to beat more than Brian Aikens. I can promise you that. I can promise you that.
We're having a good time here with Pine Forest Principal David Colbreth. You talk about the budget cuts, and you know we hear a lot about that. But as a day in and day out, how does that impact the school, and does it impact the kids and their ability to learn?
Well, you know, it increases class sizes. I mean, you gotta say what it does. It does increase class size, and you know, that's tough. Managing you know, 25 kids is tough, but when you start creeping up to 30 and 33 and 35, it's tough. And it's not just, you know, here in Fayetteville. It's throughout the state and throughout the country. It's a tough job, but teachers are amazing. I mean, we say it all the time. They're amazing. Differentiating instruction, meeting different learning styles in the classroom every day, getting the most out of every kid. It is a tough job. It takes a special person to do it. I like watching some of the special forces people coming back, and they retire out of the military, and they say, you know what, I want to go teach. And they walk in that classroom, and some of them have walked out and said, hey, I can't do this. I can't do this. But it has been tough. But, you know, teachers are always going to do whatever it takes. I mean, that's just the kind of people it takes to be teachers. And we've got some good ones at Pine Forest High School.
I know you do. What's your feel-good story for 2016 so far? What situation
I tell you, I got to give
heart?
a shout out first of all to the tennis team. You know, and I want to give a shout out to a lot of people, Miss Owens and Miss Kathy Jensen. They were real vocal about us getting some new tennis courts, and you know, they kept calling and calling and calling, saying, hey, when is somebody going to do something about our courts? And the county stepped in, and we got some new tennis courts. And next thing I know, Jared Britt has got a conference championship with tennis here in the fall. And that's just been out of nowhere. And that's just something exciting. So that's definitely a feel-good. You know, we knew we were going to have a special group in football. But what's on paper doesn't always turn into a reality, maybe on the field. And they've had some adversity, but they're fighting through it, and they're looking really good, and they're coming together at the right time, and it's special. You know, I knew Coach Sochovka for years, but never worked with him, and you know, I've been there and watched him and his relationship with his son from the time he was a little boy, just seeing him, and then you know, watching that that's a feel good story to see.
Tough
Matt,
relationship when you're the boss and the dad.
Yeah, Matt's head's gotten a little bigger in size since his baby days. I
noticed that, and it's not just
check
the hair.
that out in the program. Yeah, it's not just the hair. So, you know, it's good. And you know, this will be my first graduating class I've been with all 4 years. So I really know these kids, and that's special too. You know. I mean, I love that first class too. I mean, I jumped in there being the principal, but these are kids I've spent 4 years with now, so I'm close to them. You know, I'm starting to, you know, not just know them by face, but know them by name. And you know, some of them living out their dreams here this year, and it's good to be a part of that with them.
And it's got to be, and you're doing a great job as we're here with head principal, the principal at Pine Forest High School, David Colbreth. And we had Jimmy on at our first program, and it's kind of neat to see Jimmy Peaden is the basketball coach now.
Let me say something about that real quick. I had a chance to hire Jimmy at Southview, and I went with a guy, Wendell Wise. He just fit a lot of the criteria we were looking for, and Jimmy did so well in the interview that time, and he was second on that interview committee. And I remember I had to give him the news that we were going with Wendell. Remember one of the comments that I said was, you know, we had to go with a guy that was here. He's been freshman coach, JV coach, varsity assistant. And I said, you know, I hope whoever the principal is at Pine Forest, I hope if anything ever happens to David May, that person will show you that loyalty and give you that shot. And I tell you what, I never dreamed that
would be you.
A couple years later I would be there and I'd be hiring Jimmy Peaden as the head basketball at Pine Forest. But not only are the kids excited, the community was excited, and we really feel good about David May, my Cowboy brother, and I'd like to give a shout out to the Dallas Cowboys and tell Jerry Jones putting.
All right, going to break.
So glad to see Mr. That new quarterback,
Dak Prescott.
Go Cowboys and go Elliott and Prescott.
All right, and there's him on his soapbox, folks. There's still hope for him. He's got a Georgia hat on. You know, if you're familiar with Pine Forest football, Lamont Galliard is at Georgia. They're playing at South Carolina. We think, we have not heard. We know there's a lot of things with Hurricane Matthew coming in. We know that the Citadel, the College of Charleston, and we thought the Citadel was the College of Charleston, and Charleston Southern have all been evacuated, UNCW. So if you're watching this somewhere in Florida, hey, we're praying for you. We're with you. Anything we can do to help you, you know, just reach out and touch us at Pack Power Media. But David, man, it's been. I know you got to go because I know you've. I don't even know if you got a substitute down there.
No, Brian's down. Mr. Atkins is down there right now, which always worries me.
Oh gosh, I didn't realize that was your fill-in.
There will be something in my office that's been tampered with or messed with, so I do need to get back and sort of look after the house.
Okay, so maybe we can give both y'all on next week, and we could talk to him about his experience and the thrill of running through the Trojan banner.
I would love that.
All right, so especially if it's a win, because we know it's going to be a win. Yeah. We're thinking positive here on Thursday night. Again, it's Thursday night football, not Saturday night, not Friday night. At some point, we're going to get back to a Friday night.
That's
I
right.
hope.
Hopefully.
Next Friday.
Big homecoming game 2 weeks from now, right there on Andrews Road.
The 14th.
7 o'clock. The Colts are coming, and we've got all the principals that have been at Pine Forest during the history of the school. We've got them coming back, and we've got several reunions and a lot of events planned. So if you're listening and you're a Trojan alum, we hope to see you next week at homecoming.
All right, and hopefully you'll be able to watch all the action right here on Pack Power Media. Still to be determined. Hey, David Colbreth, principal at Pine Forest High School, man, thank you for coming out.
Yes,
I know
sir.
you're a
Thank
busy
you for
man.
having me.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk to head football coach Bill Sochovka, talk about that thrilling Saturday afternoon win over Jack Britt High School, and then preview the Southview Tigers as they look to go 3-0 in Mid-South Conference play. So we'll be back in just a minute from Peaden's with the Pine Forest Coaches Show, brought to you by Scott Service Company. Look them up on Facebook. That's Scott Service Company. We'll be right back.
Discover what's behind the gates at Gates 4 Golf and Country Club.
One of the area's premier gated communities, featuring an 18-hole championship golf course, a beautiful 3/4-mile exercise trail with a children's play area, 4 new USTA tennis courts and pavilion, perfect for weddings and receptions, a family-friendly pool with cover patio, and our clubhouse offers many dining options along with live entertainment and dancing.
Golf, swimming, tennis, dining. Learn more about membership at gates4.com.
Are you remodeling? The Restore Warehouse, Fayetteville's new and used home improvement alternative, is the area leader in new and used home and building supplies. Donate furniture, appliances, cabinets, lighting, windows, doors, or bath items. All donations are tax deductible. The Restore Warehouse also sells new kitchen cabinets, tile, flooring, and vanities for less. Plus, all net profits are donated to local Fayetteville area charities. Donate, shop, save, and support your community. Call now to schedule your free donation pickup.
Pack Power Media.
Hey, welcome back to the Pine Forest Coaches Show, coming to you live from Peaden's, brought to you this week by Scott Service Company. Look them up on Facebook at Scott Service Company. Whether you're hot, whether you're cold, just call Scott's. He won't put you on hold. As we talk to head coach Bill Sochovka. Bill, big win on Saturday. Tell us about that. Tell us what it's like playing Saturday afternoon. Y'all teed off at 3. Teed it up at 3 o'clock because of the flooding that happened. Schools were out Thursday. Schools were out Friday. Good for the kids, bad for the kids. Struggle for you to get those kids and have them focused on a Saturday afternoon.
Actually, it was pretty easy because and
congratulations on a great win. I'm sorry.
Appreciate it.
Forgot to say congratulations on a great win.
When they came in the locker room, a bunch of them were saying, "Hey, it's college game day today." So when they had that positive attitude about what football was about, it's just like, and that kind of spread through the locker room. So I wasn't really worried about them adjusting to the playing time as much. But I was worried about the last time we saw them was practice-wise was Wednesday night, and that was inside because of the rain.
Because of the rain.
That was really about 2.5 days without practice, so that was a little concerning. But we did what we needed to do. We came out and won. I got to give Coach Rimpf credit. He did his best to try to keep his offense on the field, so our offense wasn't. But anytime when you have transition like that and changes, I'll take that win any time.
Jack Britt is struggling, having lost 5 games in a row now. You did a great job holding them to 73 yards passing, 151 yards rushing. Really, was it a complete game for your team? Did they play good in all facets of the game? How would you grade them?
I would probably say maybe a B- as a whole. I mean, I thought we thought we could have done more scoring wise. And again, that was their tribute to them keeping the ball away from us. I think we only had the ball 19 minutes total, and we scored 19 points. So I guess that's pretty good.
A point per minute, yeah. Imagine if you had the ball for 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But what they did a really good job, too, is they have a tremendous punter who was able to change the field for them and put us in a hole a couple times where eventually we gave up a safety to them. And that was pretty close because at the time it was 7-2, so we really didn't get out of it until late in the third quarter, I think, is when Levante had caught that pass and we went up on them 19-2, and they scored a late touchdown very late with about 55 seconds left in the game.
So a pretty dominant performance. You jumped out there to the 7-0 lead, 31-yard run by Julian Hill. Was that a design run, or was that did he tuck and run?
It was a pass play, and he rolled to the right, and they were all covered, came back. He got some great blocking downfield. But that's the thing that Julian is capable, has the capability of doing. He's done it a couple times this year, and that puts a lot of pressure on other teams that, do I come up on him and pass? If I do that, we're going to leave somebody open that he's going to throw to. Come up on a run, I should say. So it was kind of good to see him take off, and he, opened up his strides, and he got there fairly quickly.
Yeah, he's got some long. What's he got? Like a 50-inch stride.
I can't tell if it's a giraffe or a gazelle. Depends on how you look at it.
And he does well. So you're up 7-0. Then you come back and you get the safety.
Right.
You had where he's charged for intentional grounding in the end zone. Jack Britt's got a good defense, and they can put the pressure on you. Was that just was that a mistake there, or was he doing the best he could to avoid something else?
Well, actually, it was a miscue run play that wound up being a incomplete pass safety that happened. So he was just trying to, ironically, he was trying to get rid of the ball so he didn't get a safety, and it came back to be a safety.
Yeah, and then the defense held, and then he's able, right before the half, he gets the 19-yard touchdown pass to Jordan Gladney, which gave you a nice cushion going into halftime. What'd you say to the team at halftime? To talk to them, they're up at that point 13-2 or 12-2. What are you saying to them to say, hey guys, we still got they're in this game?
Pretty much, we got to play to our level, not their level. We got to be able to do what we need to do to win this game. And I said this last week. Our saying is, we're 6-1, and no 6 wins don't mean anything until you win the next game. But again, when you look in the kids' eyes, you can kind of tell whether they have the confidence or not. And in every game that we played, they never had that wavering lack of confidence that you could see in their eyes, even coming out there. The big thing of that I was really happy with was when we scored that 19-yard touchdown. Was we took the ball and we ran it down their throats, and then the pass play opened up. So we were able to get a really good sustained drive, and that showed us that we couldn't move the ball against them. And I think that put them back on their heels when they came out in the second half.
And then you come out in the third quarter and you're back down again by your own goal line. You're at the 5-yard line, and Jordan and Levante hook up for the 95-yard touchdown pass, put you up 19-2 at that point. And what were you doing on the sideline as he's weaving his way through defenders? Are you running with him? Or are you trying to?
He was actually in front of me, and Julian scrambled, and Levante just kind of turned around, and Julian threw. It was almost like a jump pass. And he caught it, and the defender was actually should have tackled him right there, and Levante made a good play, and then he just, Levante's got those 2 or 3 speeds afterwards, and he just ran away from the defender, and it was a 95-yard touchdown pass that, then again, that really broke their back in terms of, because I think it was late in the third quarter,
right?
And we were back and forth on the defensive side of the ball, but yeah, that was you could tell from, it took the wind out of their sails.
224 yards of total offense, 70 yards rushing. Seemed like you were just struggled to be consistent in running the ball. What you're going up against Southview this week, big on the defensive front. What do you have to do to turn that around?
Well, I think with all of our weapons, that gives us the advantage that we could kind of figure out what to run as a defense and call what's on our playbook. And like I said before, it's kind of nice to be in a situation where for our offensive coordinator, Coach Wickham, because of our potency on offense, that we could kind of pick and choose what we want to run and don't have to really. Well, of course, he always throws tricks out of his sleeve, but that's just because he wants to do that. And that makes a big difference when we have our outside game with Levante and our inside game with our other running backs. That makes it, and of course our passing game. So pick your poison. You only can cover 1 or 2 of those, and the other one of those is going to be open up.
Somebody's going to be open. Julian Hill, now 54% of his passes, 14 touchdowns. Defensively, you guys, 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. Jack Britt really struggled, but that's a tribute to your defense and the team mentality that we continue to see from that defense.
Yeah, Xavier Williams, our free safety, had a really good game. He had 2 picks. He also did a great job when you look on film coming up and making some very important tackles. They like to run that jet sweep, and he came up and filled. I think he had 8 solo tackles. And an hour before the game, he was taking the SAT. So I told him, you need to take the SAT every time. So that way you didn't have to worry about thinking. His brain was fried, and he just reacted.
He was already there. But the Trojans come away Saturday afternoon, 19-9 over Jack Britt. The Trojans improved to 6-1 overall, 2-0 in the conference. With a tough little stretch coming up, starting with this week with Southview coming to Harold K. Warren Stadium. When we come back, we'll preview the Tigers, talk about what the Trojans have to do to win to get that 3rd conference victory, and then roll on here with the Pine Forest Trojan Show, coming to you live from Peaden's at 1600 MacArthur Road, brought to you tonight by Scott Service Company. So come on out. We see orders coming out, shrimp, fish, chicken, barbecue. Doesn't matter what it is, Peaden's has exactly what you're looking for. So when we come back, we'll preview the Southview Tigers as we roll on with the Trojan Coaches Show on Pack Power Media.
Discover what's behind the gates at Gates 4 Golf and Country Club.
One of the area's premier gated communities, featuring an 18-hole championship golf course, a beautiful 3/4-mile exercise trail with a children's play area, 4 new USTA tennis courts and pavilion, perfect for weddings and receptions, a family-friendly pool with covered patio, and our clubhouse offers many dining options along with live entertainment and dancing.
Golf, swimming, tennis, dining. Learn more about membership at gatesford.com.
Are you remodeling? The Restore Warehouse, Fayetteville's new and used home improvement alternative, is the area leader in new and used home and building supplies. Donate furniture, appliances, cabinets, lighting, windows, doors, or bath items. All donations are tax deductible. The Restore Warehouse also sells new kitchen cabinets, tile, flooring, and vanities for less. Plus, all net profits are donated to local Fayetteville area charities. Donate, shop, save, and support your community. Call now to schedule your free donation pickup.
Pack Power Media.
Hey, welcome back to Peaden with the Pine Forest Trojans Coaches Show, brought to you tonight by Scott Service Company. Give Jonathan a call. What's that number, Jonathan? That's 309-2270. That's 910-309-2270. Give Jonathan a call. He's in the audience tonight. We're going to have him up, get him to say a couple of words, and we may even break down an air conditioner right here. We're breaking stuff down, so we may have him break down an HVAC unit, show you what you need to know, and get rolling back along here. But Coach, you got Southview, you got the Tigers coming into Harold K. Warren Stadium. They're 4-3, 1-1 in the conference. Got the forfeit against Overhills. You look at their three losses. Their losses are to Scotland, Richmond, and to 71st. So they've got a decent team. What worries you about the Tigers this week?
Their size up front. They got some big boys on their offensive line or defensive line, and also they have the ability to make big plays happen when they need to, especially with their passing game.
So we talk about that offensive line. Folks, we're talking 6'6", 270, 6'6", 315, 6'2", 300, 6'2", 300, 6'5", 300. I mean, there's colleges that don't have an offensive line that big. Defensively, what do you do to neutralize their size?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just by spreading them out and just playing our offense so that they have to worry about our athletes. Sometimes you could be big up front, but if you can't move and stop our speed, that we're gonna take that matchup anytime.
You look at Levante Carter, Fayetteville Observer Athlete of the Week this week. You talk about him. I mean, you could go just Jordan Gladney. You go down the line with the athletes you have. They've got a pretty good running back over there, too. Keonis Hopkins, the senior, 751 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns. He's caught 17 passes for 240 yards. He's a dual threat. Whose job is it going to be to make sure he's covered this week?
Our linebackers and our safeties.
So he's a game breaker. I mean, you figure they got three guys, Keonis, Trey Richardson, and Gary Ayers, and that's pretty much all of their offense right there, whether it's running or passing. Keonis, we've seen him a couple of times this season. He's got a little bit of speed, but they've struggled for consistency on their side, averaging 314 yards a game, giving up more interceptions than they have touchdown passes from Donovan Brewington. He's a sophomore. I mean, he was thrown to the Wolves last year and said,
early, yes.
"Okay, freshman, go get them. Have fun with that." And kind of held his own. But when you look at what they do offensively, they like to spread it out, run some no huddle, run some huddle. How do you tone that down to be your ball game?
Well, the biggest thing is what you just said. Is we do. My defensive staff did a pretty good job this week, just making sure that we knew how to line up to what they're going to give us, the different formations. Their plays really don't change that much out of the formations, but it does put a pressure on the defense because one miscue one misalignment for us could wind up being a touchdown for them.
And they have that much speed. Ball game at 7 o'clock Thursday night. Again, because of Hurricane Matthew. Speaking of Matthew, Hurricane Matthew, we are playing Thursday night. I almost said Saturday. Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Harold K. Warner Stadium. Go ahead and get
Actually,
there
we're
early.
at Southview. It's their homecoming.
Oh, it's that Southview. I apologize.
And they changed it from 7 to 7:30 because of homecoming.
I did see that in the paper today, so my apologies. The Billy Mack man is wrong. So it's at Southview, so go ahead and make that trip across. I was thinking you had 3 home games in a row. I knew that didn't sound right. So it'd be at Southview, so go over to Tiger Stadium, hit one of those little restaurants over in Southview on the way over there, and go see a big ball game. But again, 7:30 is the start time. When you look at that Southview defense, they're prone to give up some points. Gerald Douglas is their leading tackler with 55. He's got 6 tackles for losses. Naeem Williams has got 7 tackles for losses, so they're very active on defense. You talked about spreading them out. Are they going to Are you going to show them something new, or are you at the point now where here, this is what we do, stop us?
A little bit of both. I think if the old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And then, like I said, we do a pretty good job making halftime adjustments with our offense and finding the holes that they could give us. So they'll probably see the same thing on tape in terms of formation-wise and things like that in terms of what we're going to do against them. We do a really good job of looking at film and looking at what other teams have done, other teams, and we steal their ideas, and we have some of that going on. But like I said, with the offense the way it is, we feel real comfortable with our game plan and our basic stuff that we do.
So they got a very young team, huge offensive line. Playing on Thursday night, you played last week on Saturday. Does that mess up the routine with the kids or with your preparation, or is it for the kids? It's just a chance to go out and play ball, and that's what they look forward to.
We played against Hogger that night on that Thursday night, and that was a little bit of a challenge. This past Saturday was challenging, so I think it actually might work to our benefit playing tomorrow night. And once we know when we're going to play, and we're able to get our schedules out, and the kids understand that, they get pretty focused and they understand what's coming down the line. It's those last-minute hiccups that happen that really can kind of throw a situation off. I mean, and I'll give you an example. Last week, we had gotten done doing the field Thursday afternoon because our field was dry, it was beautiful, it was sunny. We painted the field. I just got off the phone with the parent. She said, "Are we playing tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, we're playing tomorrow, as far as I know." And 20 minutes later, I walk in the house, school's canceled. Like, what? Because, you think about, what the field looked like. Of course, you don't know what other side of town.
Right.
And then now you're starting to scramble. Now you got to say, are we going to, and then a part of that was you had to negotiate a time with the other team to go, because neither one wanted to play Monday. Playing Monday throws off your whole week.
Right.
With Friday. That's a
like
big,
Terry Sanford
right,
this week. He's
yeah,
Monday night, Thursday night.
To me, that's a challenge. But Saturday, at least you get a day. You could keep Monday the same, which we did. So we had Monday, Tuesday the same, and today was a little bit different, but not all that different because we had to do it a couple of weeks ago when we played Hoggard.
Well, and you're in week 7, week 8 now.
Yeah,
So so if they don't know it, there's a few wrinkles, I'm sure, every week. But as far as the game plan, you're pretty consistent with what you're doing.
Usually on Thursday we do a little bit more with our special teams, so we had to add that into it. And the powder puff teams are supposed to come and practice on the field at 6, so we had to extend our practice a little bit longer to get that done. They understood.
When David was on, David Colworth was our first guest tonight. He talked about Matthew, and tell us, is that easy for you as the coach and the dad? And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you probably
sure it is.
Tell us about the challenge from being the boss to being the dad and not showing favoritism, because you've got 50, 60 other kids, but yet it's special for you to have seen him come up through from playing Pee Wee ball to now as a senior getting college offers. And I know you're proud of him, even though you may not be able to tell him that all the time. And he's not here tonight, so we can talk about him.
I think one of the things that I did early on is when he played for me, I had in my mind that whatever position you play, that he was going to be coached by that position coach. And me being as a head coach, and that's what I did. I let those coaches coach him however they wanted to just like all the other coaches, all the other players on the team, and that I think made a big difference in the transition for him. You know, because you see it, and I've seen it. You know, we see kids coached by their dads in every single sport, but when they get to the high school level, they have a tough time, and a dad has a tough time
because they've been coddled, they've been
and dad
favoritism.
has a tough time, you know, not seeing the full potential of those kids and what they can do, and then because they're not in control of it, that it can hinder a kid. So I didn't want to do that to him. You know, if he wanted to play baseball, he could play baseball. If he wanted to play basketball, he could play basketball. Just as long as he was being coached fairly through everything that was there. That's you know, just like any parent would be. You know, but from the standpoint of you know, he's really grew up in the football realm. He's been around. You know, he was our ball boy since God knows
since
when.
He was young.
Well, yeah, he was our ball boy even when I was a defensive coordinator with Dean Sappos. So. So he's been around it the whole time. He's seen all these players come over to the house, hang out. He knows them by name. They know him by name. So, you know, he's got a lot of respect for a lot of people, and he's seen, you know, the good side of football where you put the hard work in and the grades and good things happen like scholarships. But he's also seen the other side. You know, if you don't put it in the weight room, if you don't do it in the off season, and you're not going to get those looks by colleges. You might even lose your job at the high school level. So he's seen it all, and I think that experience alone has helped to get to the point where he is today as a student athlete.
Well, he's on the football field. He's excelling. We've seen the pictures of the trips you've taken, so we're looking forward to announcing where Matthew will be going. And again, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but since David cracked the door, I wanted to get your opinion on that. And thank you for sharing it, both as a coach and a dad, because you can tell that he knows his manners and he's getting some home training, as we used to say.
That's
hey, man,
his mom.
That's good for his mom, who's not here again tonight. So where are you, Sheila? But man, big congrats on tomorrow night. We know that things are going to go well. You know, just put the head down and keep rolling, and then we'll talk to you next Wednesday about that and about all the stuff that's going on with homecoming and talk about that whole distraction for you as we'll be back with Bill next Wednesday night. So thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we've got Jonathan Scott. We've got some players. I think Josh Jensen was going to be here. I'm looking. The powder puff practice.
He didn't get the text until like 2 minutes when I was walking out the door. He asked me, what should I do? I said, that's up to you, buddy.
So he's powder puff. So is he playing as a girl?
He's a cheerleader. He's practicing as a cheerleader.
He's practicing as a cheerleader. So all right.
He needs
So
all the practice
we had the real cheerleaders on last week. So we'll get Josh to do a cheer for us next week. We'll see how good he does. But we got Jonathan. We've got players. We're still rolling on right here at Peaden's. Still not too late to come on out. Shrimp, fish, chicken, barbecue. Come on out. But we're sponsored tonight by Scott Service Company. No job too big, no job too small. Hit him up on Facebook. Call Jonathan. Him and his wife do a great job. And if you want down to earth, somebody who's going to show up, do the job, and be honest with you, then call Jonathan Scott at Scott Service Company. We'll be back with Jonathan and some players right after this.
What's behind the gates at Gates 4 Golf and Country Club?
One of the area's premier gated communities, featuring an 18-hole championship golf course, a beautiful 3/4-mile exercise trail with a children's play area, 4 new USTA tennis courts and pavilion, perfect for weddings and receptions, a family-friendly pool with cover patio, and our clubhouse offers many dining options along with live entertainment and dancing.
Golf, swimming, tennis, dining. Learn more about membership at gates4.com.
Are you remodeling? The Restore Warehouse, Fayetteville's new and used home improvement alternative, is the area leader in new and used home and building supplies. Donate furniture, appliances, cabinets, lighting, windows, doors, or bath items. All donations are tax deductible. The Restore Warehouse also sells new kitchen cabinets, tile, flooring, and vanities for less. Plus, all net profits are donated to local Fayetteville area charities. Donate, shop, save, and support your community. Call now to schedule your free donation pickup.
Pack Power Media.
Hey, welcome back to Peaden's with the Pine Forest Coaches Show, brought to you tonight by Scott's Service Company. We got the man, the co-owner, the back, the mule, Jonathan Scott, man. Number one, man, thanks for sponsoring the show tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Why'd you want to sponsor, man? I mean, I know you're getting ready to live across the street from Bill. Are you trying to work your way up the ticket ladder?
Well, I'm trying to get that, and of course, after Mandy sent me a few texts, I didn't have much of a choice. So,
my wife is a bulldog.
She's
literally.
She can get it. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Literally a bulldog, man. But tell us about Scott Service Company. How long you been in business, and what kind of services do you offer for folks?
Well, we started it 3 years ago. I've been in the heat and air industry for about 13 years altogether now. 10 years.
What, did you start when you were 10?
Near about.
Near about.
I feel like it. I feel like it. But I worked for another company for 10 years and then went out on my own 3 years ago. And we do residential heating and air and light commercial sales, service, and installation. Fall tune-ups, spring tune-ups, and all parts in between.
All right, so we're that's changing over. It's been down in the 60s, supposed to get down in the 40s next week, overnight. So what do people need to know about the maintenance on the changeover? I mean, other than changing the filter once a month, what do they need to be looking for in order to avoid the big repair bill?
Well, just change your filter once a month. That helps more than anything. We have so many calls, especially in the summertime, people that don't change the filter. It'll cause the unit to freeze up if it's not changed. And just change your filter out once a month. And in the summertime, if you're cutting grass, cut away from the outdoor unit. That don't clog it up. And when you change over, a lot of times if you have a heat pump with electric heat, you're going to smell that burning smell to start with, and that's normal. It'll last about 5-10 minutes and go away. If you don't smell that burning smell, you might need to call us because the heat ain't going to work. But we are right now running a fall special for $89 to come up and do a tune-up on your system. We'll come out and check the coils, check your refrigerant levels. If you have gas heat, we'll check your burners and your heat exchangers, make sure there's no crack in the heat exchangers.
That's a big problem.
It is a big problem. If you have, as you well know, if you have a crack in the heat exchanger, carbon monoxide is coming into the home, and it can be deadly.
And no pun intended. Next time we have y'all, man, we're going to have the wireless on the camera. We're going to go out back and break down Jimmy's unit.
Yeah.
And we're going to show everybody exactly what his service is, kind of like Letterman going out in the alley.
That's right.
We're going to do something cool outside.
And as cold as it is in here tonight, we know his is working.
We know his is working. A lot of heat, a lot of hot air
in here
in that kitchen with him and Ricky and John back there. But buddy, we just want to say thank you. We know that you were a little nervous about coming on. Your wife over there, now you're a Pine Forest graduate.
I'm a Pine Forest. I graduated in '99, and she graduated in '06. She played softball, and they didn't give me no balls to play with.
Hardball.
Yeah, that's right.
Hardball. But, man, you guys are doing a great job. You've been over and done some work for me at the Restore Warehouse, man. So I want to say, folks, I'm not just touting him. He's actually done the work for us, seen him in action. Great guy, great family. Give him a call. Give him that number.
910-309-2270.
309-2270. Whether it's hot, whether it's cold, call Scott. He won't put you on hold. Hey, man.
Thank you, sir.
My wife, who just got here, is just laughing at us. Now we're going to change over. We got Xavier Williams coming on over here now. Defensive back extraordinaire, thanks to Jonathan Scott. He's also in his khakis tonight, like Jake from State Farm. Our producer extraordinaire. But, man, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here.
Now, you're a senior?
Yes, sir.
Pine Forest all 4 years?
Yes, sir.
What's the best thing about playing for Coach Sochovka? And just remember, he's still sitting right over my shoulder.
Well, good point. I say the best moment, is his speeches. When he tells it, you get the whole team hyped up, and you know what to do.
Is he a spitter?
No.
No?
He wakes up. Hey, if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't know when he's talking.
You know when he's talking, so he's not. You don't have to worry about being in the front row and getting a shower.
You're
I've
paying attention, you're like,
I've had
regardless.
coaches like that before playing my time. We're here with Xavier Williams, senior defensive back for the Pine Forest Trojans. You got 3 interceptions, man. So you're all over the field. When you're back there, are you free safety or cornerback?
Free safety.
Free safety. So you're kind of playing center field. You're watching the quarterback eyes, man. What do you look for to give you that extra step you need to get that interception?
First off, one of my keys is to read off the quarterback. Read his eyes. You move to the left, I need to move to the left. I also need to keep my own man. If it's tight end, if it's a slot.
Is he giving you answers over there?
No, sir.
Now, you got 3 interceptions, a fumble recovery. You also got 19 tackles, so you've been all over the field. Who's been you're 6-1, played 7 games. Who's the best receiver you've played against so far? And what made him so good?
Best receiver. Actually, that kind of is a hard one. I think about it.
Somebody from Jack Britt, somebody from, you did play Greensboro Dudley on the road up there.
Actually, Dudley would be the hardest.
They had the big quarterback, too, Harold Hooker. He was a nice dual threat option. Did you get a chance to put a shoulder pad on him?
I couldn't, but I wish I did.
Yeah, is he that elusive?
Yes, he is.
Now, you've got a big game coming up against Southview. You heard the principal earlier talking about he's got a bet with that Southview principal over there. So when you look at what Donovan Brewington does, and you got Gary Ayers and Keonis Hopkins, what are you keying on looking for them in order to shut them down?
Like what I know of them, like the pass the ball. As a free safety, my job is they're not catching nothing. So that's for me. I got to read my keys. Me and my fellow DBs going to do our job.
Now, who's your strong safety? Who pairs up with you playing center field and watching the tight ends across the middle?
My strong safety is Sturdivant.
William Sturdivant.
Yes.
He's pretty good too. He doesn't have an interception yet. So is he letting you have all of them?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You buying him a chicken sandwich every time you get one, and he doesn't?
Nope.
Or is he buying you one?
He should buy me one. I work hard.
All right. So you're a senior this year. What's your focus in high school, and what do you want to do with life after Pine Forest?
My main focus right now is school. Currently, I have 4.1 GPA.
4.1. Yay! Good job.
My parents, they ought to care about, academics, make sure I'm right.
There you go.
After high school, I plan to be a software engineer, majoring in computer science.
All right, you got a school picked out, whichever one offers you the most money.
Oh, yes, sir.
Shoebox is full of cash. Are they still doing that? $100 handshakes?
I wish.
You wish? He's not going to SMU, I guess. Payroll to meet. Or Carolina, yeah. Well, he's got to go to class there. So, are you a gamer? You're looking at developing software for games, or you more networking and
more of a networking. Like I love playing video games, but that's not my passion.
All right. Well, maybe we can get you over here working with us, man, and help you with our stuff when football season's over.
Sounds like fun.
You play any other sports?
I also play basketball.
All right. What position?
Play all except point guard.
Offset point guard, or
I play all except point guard.
All except. So you're a center. You're a forward. What was your best game last year?
My best game, I would say, against Pernell Sweat. Well, me and my twin combined for 31 points. I
Wow.
had 16. He had 15.
Exactly, and you had more.
Yes, sir.
Always a good thing to have more. So, does your twin also play football?
Yes, sir.
What position does he play?
Wide receiver. His number is 89 or
80.
80.
80. He's not paying attention. He's always in meetings when he's on the field, so he doesn't have a chance to pay attention to him.
True.
So what's the one thing you have to do tomorrow night? Because again, tomorrow night, 7:30 at Southview. Again, not 7 o'clock, 7:30. What's one thing you got to do tonight to ensure that the Trojans come home with a victory?
One thing I got to do is make sure I read my keys correctly, because one mistake can lead to a touchdown.
And they got some fast guys over there with Gary Ayers and Keonis Hopkins. So, man, it's been great having you on the show. Best of luck, 4.1 GPA. And we're looking forward to not seeing you on the basketball court for a little while, because you guys hopefully are going to go deep in the state playoffs.
Yep.
All right, senior defensive back Xavier Williams here with us now. Hey, we're going to step away again, come back, maybe get another player on here as we get ready to wrap up the Trojan Coaches Show from Peaden's, brought to you by Scott Service Company here on Pack Power Media. So don't go anywhere, folks. We're not over yet, but we'll be right back.
Discover what's behind the gates at Gates 4 Golf and Country Club.
One of the area's premier gated communities, featuring an 18-hole championship golf course, a beautiful 3/4-mile exercise trail with a children's play area, 4 new USTA tennis courts and pavilion, perfect for weddings and receptions, a family-friendly pool with cover patio, and our clubhouse offers many dining options along with live entertainment and dancing.
Golf, swimming, tennis, dining. Learn more about membership at gates4.com.
Are you remodeling? The Restore Warehouse, Fayetteville's new and used home improvement alternative, is the area leader in new and used home and building supplies. Donate furniture, appliances, cabinets, lighting, windows, doors, or bath items. All donations are tax deductible. The Restore Warehouse also sells new kitchen cabinets, tile, flooring, and vanities for less. Plus, all net profits are donated to local Fayetteville area charities. Donate, shop, save, and support your community. Call now to schedule your free donation pickup.
Pack Power Media.
Yeah, we're on. That's right. As we're laughing over here, as we're at we're at Peaden's on MacArthur Road with the Trojan Coaches Show. Man, we've had an action-packed hour. Can't believe it's already over. Want to give a big thanks to Principal David Culbreth who came over. And folks, you want to make sure you're at the game tomorrow night. Again, this is tomorrow night, 7:30 at Tiger Stadium on the campus of Southview High School, as Brian Atkins has to run through the Trojans banner. Is he leading the way? Do we know? He's got to lead the way. Brian Atkins, the principal at Southview, has to lead the way, and then go out there and cheer your Trojans on as they get a victory, because we do not want David to have to run through the Southview banner. Yeah, because he might need a walker. I think he's got a bum knee, I heard. Hey, but again, big kudos to the tennis team. Won their regular season championship, defeating Overhills on Monday. Their tournament starts next Thursday, the 13th. The Mid-South Conference tournament will be there, be back on. Again, soccer's here. Soccer's going on right now. Monday night, there's not the tennis team. I still see me up there. That's fine. Soccer is on against E. Smith right now. Monday night, they're at Cape Fear. Then next Wednesday night, they're at Overhills. They're in second place right now to Cape Fear, so that's going to be a big matchup come next Monday at Cape Fear. Maybe you want to go out and check that out at Colt Stadium. And then golf has got a match coming up Monday at Baywood. Cross country, a meet on the 12th, number 4. And then they've got conference championships coming up on the 18th. So lots of things going on athletically at Pine Forest High School. And then again, a big shout out to Levante Carter, one of the Fayetteville Observer Athletes of the Week. So big kudos to Levante. 95-yard touchdown reception from Julian Hill Saturday as the Trojans defeated the Jack Britt Buccaneers. But that's going to wrap up the Trojan Coaches Show. I'd like to thank Jonathan Scott from Scott Service Company and all the great, and Leah, co-owners there. Thank you, honey, for being our sponsors here tonight. If you like what you see, contact us at packpowermedia@gmail.com. We'd love to talk to you about all the wonderful things that are going on in our community and how we can help you. Next week, we'll be right back here, 7 o'clock. Hopefully, football is going to be played on Friday night next week. I've almost forgot what doing a Friday night game is like. It's been a couple of weeks with the Saturday games, the Thursday games, but next week is homecoming, so we're looking forward to having a big crowd here, cheerleaders. The band is what we're shooting for. We're hoping to have to be outside broadcasting at this time next week. So tune us in at Pack Power Media on YouTube. Thanks for watching, folks. From Peaden's, good night.
Pack Power Media.